to another episode of Say Yes to Travel, where we've been talking to travel industry professionals around the world, hearing about what things have been like, where things are now, and what we can expect moving forward, especially as many of us are tiptoeing back into travel. We are so excited to get back out there. And for me, it's always a pleasure to have somebody on from a different part of the world, because it's great to see what's happening and see what similarities are going on, but then also have exciting places to look forward to. So today's guest, I have Jadine Yard, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Nevis Tourism Authority. If you don't know Nevis, you're going to, and it's going to be on your map, on the list for sure. It's in the Eastern Caribbean, but I know I can't do it justice. Definitely not like how Jadine can. So without further ado, Jadine, welcome so much. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for having me.
It's so great. Well, first of all, I'm excited to have your background. If we could talk about your background. I mean, for those that are watching the video, obviously you can see. If you're listening to this, you have to check out the video right there. I mean, that's like the best advertising that you can have. It's just take a look. This is all the beauty that Nevis has to offer.
Yes, thank you so much. It is absolutely stunning. I had to sacrifice the wind in my hair today because I wanted you all to see this beauty. So I hope you're enjoying it.
Oh, I love that. It's definitely a worthwhile sacrifice. So before we dive into all that, everything about Nevis, I'd love to get a little bit of an introduction on you and your background. So would love to hear a bit about maybe your hospitality travel background, and also how your journey has led you to this pretty amazing role as the CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority.
Yeah, well, thank you. I actually am from Boston, and a lot of my experience was in marketing and sales. My minor was also in Chinese, so my thought was really to do international business, but life happened as it often does. I worked in sales for some time and also in entertainment. And I said I wanted to move to the Caribbean. I said I'm done with New York City. I really had enough, and I said, my family is from the Caribbean. Let's do it. So I packed up all my things and I moved to the Caribbean 8 years ago. And I focused on entertainment and sales and tourism and experiences really overall. So I worked in the entertainment scene, creating memorable experiences, shifted a bit into wellness, and also started to focus on a concierge service. So I developed a concierge service that serviced both Barbados and Grenada, and that did tremendously well. Worked with a lot of brands within the region and really built a solid base. And I loved it. So I absolutely loved living in the Caribbean, being able to experience, like I said, different islands and traveling with artists and building experiences. So everything was kind of worked in my favor. And there was an opportunity in Nevis, and I said, wait a minute. This place is beautiful. I remember my father going to Nevis when I was a child, and he brought me back this beautiful bird. And I said, you know what, Jadine, this is a sign. Just let's go. Let's figure it out. So the opportunity presented itself, and with my extensive experience in sales, marketing, tourism, entertainment, I said, shoot my shot and see what happens. And I landed net, as they say. And so I moved to Nevis almost 2 years ago, and it has been an amazing journey thus far.
I am sure. Wow, that's so incredible. And it's so interesting to see how, you have these little things that come up, and it's like, that might be a sign that that's the direction that I need to be going in. And it's, we all kind of end up landing where we're supposed to be, even if we didn't expect it. So that's such a cool journey.
Yeah, all the time. It was definitely something that I loved because I think the people that I was around really focused on how can we make it in New York? How can we make it in the bigger cities? And the Caribbean really has so much to offer. So it was really a blessing to be able to move to the Caribbean.
Yeah, of course. No, definitely. I think many people would envy that sort of opportunity. So I'm glad that you took advantage of it. So let's dive into more about Nevis. So for those that might not know about Nevis, what makes the island so charming, unique, and must visit for those that are looking to travel to the Caribbean?
Yeah, I always speak about my experience coming to Nevis. And I didn't know what to expect. So being a woman saying, okay, I'm going to venture into a new opportunity, I wasn't really sure. And when I journeyed here from Barbados and I landed in St. Kitts, we took a water taxi over to Nevis. And when we docked at Owali, it was the most breathtaking experience of my life. And at that moment, I mean, the anxiety just went away. And I said, everything is going to be okay. And I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure, what I was really walking into, but just the essence of the island overall really was able to captivate me and make me feel comfortable. And that's not something that happens often, where you go somewhere and it's just like, okay, this is home. I can do this. And I think that's really what it is. I always try to use words to describe Nevis, and it's really, like I said, the essence. It's some place that you really have to come to experience. There are absolutely no stoplights and no fast food restaurants anywhere on the island, so you can understand the pace, right? It's a place where you can come once and never be a stranger, really. They say, you're a stranger once. No, you're never a stranger at all. Nevis is positioned very, very delicately because there's a beautiful mountain in the backdrop, and one of our ambassadors called it your best friend because anywhere you go on the island, you're going to see this beautiful mountain, and it really is that assurance, and it's also your roadmap because
Oh,
you
I
can't
love it.
by seeing it, right? So that's definitely something that we love to speak about is the peak. But really, like I said, it gives this barefoot luxury. You're seeing the backdrop right here, and there is no one up on the beach chairs. And it's not just because COVID or anything like that. It's because Nevis is one of those places that is not overrun, no overrun by tourists. You're able to get your own space and you're not feeling like someone is right over you. You're really having that authentic experience with either your family, if it's a solo trip. So I really can't even put it into words. I'm trying, but it really is the essence of the island. And we actually had the first luxury hotel in the Caribbean.
Oh,
Yeah,
which
in
one was that? What's that hotel?
the Bath Hotel, and that was the first luxury hotel in the region. And so you can understand that we really tried to give that barefoot luxury without the pretentious anything. You come here and you feel at home. You feel like you're part of a family, and I think that's really what set it apart from any other place that you've ever been to.
I love, and by the way, you keep saying the term barefoot luxury,
Yes.
which is so incredible. So, everybody that's listening to this, definitely mark that down. Barefoot luxury. I think that really kind of captures the essence of it so well. And you're right that it does. You have this element of space. It's not overcrowded. It certainly is what people are looking for right now is to have that elevated experience while they are able to enjoy being outdoors and nature, and you absolutely have all of that.
Yeah. And one of the things I want to mention, we conducted a survey maybe about 6 months back, just really trying to understand the tone and what people loved about Nevis. And one of the things that were mentioned was top of the list actually was the people. Nevisians are the most welcoming, lovely people on the planet, right? And that's a bold statement to make, but when you see how many repeat visitors come to the destination, you can understand why. There's family being forged, there are relationships forged through that interaction and really sharing your culture. And that is something that I think really sets it aside from any place else in the world.
That's incredible. Well, and that's, really the key to hospitality, which obviously is, part goes hand in hand with a destination. It's the people, and the people are the culture, and that it's not just going to some place just so that they can have palm trees and sunshine, but there is something more to it, a substance, and it is the story of the island, the cultural experience, and then obviously, the people that everybody's able to connect to. So that's so. I love that you did a survey on that, and we're able to find that out.
Yeah, we had to know really what when you're marketing or when you're trying to share to the world what you have to offer, you need to understand what people receive really well. And it was such a great testament to the resilience of Navision people as well, especially during this time, for people to say, I cannot wait to come back to Nevis. I cannot wait to come and see my friend at this restaurant or this hotel or this road or this, this event that we've had. And so that really is something that we were really excited to see, just how excited people were for coming back to the destination or coming if they had never been before.
That's incredible. I mean, it's all about the personal connections. So that actually takes me to my next question. A little bit about what Nevis is known for is its ecotourism. And I'm sure there are probably a slew of different experiences and or activities that sort of really embrace the ecotourism of the island. But do you have any personal favorite experiences that you would say, maybe travelers, if when they're coming there, they shouldn't miss?
Yeah, we actually launched a garden tour, and one of the first things that I did when I came to Nevis, was experience the farms on the island, and that experience was one of the most breathtaking experiences of my life. I love fruits and vegetables. I'm a vegan, and so being in a place where there are literally things growing everywhere, there are fruits growing here, vegetables here. I can go and pick a sea grape if I'm walking down the beach. And that was something that I thought was really different from a lot of different experiences, because you really are using the things that are here naturally, right? And so the farm tour really encompasses exactly what Nevis is, right? It's a plethora of natural beings. So people are able to just pick things and taste them and enjoy them and just have a great time. And so the tour really gives you an understanding of how agriculture works on the island, and it allows you to pick some of my favorite fruits. When we launched, it was actually mango season. I'll speak a bit about that later, but mangoes are my favorite fruit.
Oh,
And
mine
so,
too.
and yeah, and there are actually, and I must say, there are over 44 varieties of mangoes in Nevis.
Wow. I didn't even know that there were that many to begin with, let
Exactly.
alone there.
So that in itself is just great for
That
anyone
that
who
that in itself is going to make me buy a plane ticket right
okay,
now.
exactly. So definitely during the mango season is just the best. So the tour really, like I said, you're able to taste avocados, and after the experience where you get to understand how they cultivate the land, you're able to have a fresh smoothie with things that are grown on the garden. And so that is an immersive experience that really is a testament, like I said, to how natural Nevis is, and that's really our tagline: Nevis naturally, and it you can see it. So that's something that we love to boast about when we speak about ecotourism. And we also have a sulfur spring, and so the sulfur spring, which is also in the Bath area in Nevis, is a healing space. So locals, tourists, anyone comes to the island goes straight for those springs because they have healing properties, and it helps with ailments. If you have sore back, anything that you're feeling, if you have gone and ventured in hiking the Nevis Peak, and after that you have to go to the sulfur springs so that you can actually get a moment to just relax and really feel all of life's wonders. So that is another must experience when you're coming to
Sounds like so incredible, and that tagline, Nevis naturally, makes so much sense. And I mean, especially right now, people want to have more of those natural experiences. And I even, just as you're talking about the mangoes, avocados, and all of that, I mean, especially as I'm sure that you also have a lot of travelers that come there from the United States. There is nothing like going to a destination and everything that you are talking about when you are eating those fruits and vegetables. It just tastes different. It tastes so different than home. It hits different, as they say.
Yes, it does. I was speaking to a friend, and she was drinking a coconut water in a I think it was something in a container.
Yeah, like in the little paper
Yeah,
boxes, whatever. Yeah.
exactly. And we were talking, and I was asking her, okay, how does it taste? Because she knows the Caribbean, and she's actually living in the Caribbean now. And we were talking about how different the taste is. And so one of my colleagues actually asked me before I came here, "Can you pick me up a coconut water on your way back to the office?" And I'm like, "Well, I can't make it now." And at that time, it sells out very quickly. So everyone comes and you have the entire experience. You're seeing him cut it open. You get to taste the jelly. You're able to get, drink out of it directly or get it poured into a bottle where you can take it home. But it only lasts for a limited time. So you make sure that you enjoy it right then and there. So that is something that we love.
Exactly, and you can totally take advantage of that, and that's incredible. I love that. So, what about events? I know that you sort of hinted a little bit at that, but Nevis is definitely, it seems to be home to a few big cultural events. Can you share a little bit about what those are?
Yeah, we actually just had our Culturama, which typically happens at the end of July, beginning of August, and that is our cultural celebration. We had to shift it to a virtual event, and it took place this weekend. And the reason being is we missed last year, and we said, listen, local, we want to experience the music, we want to experience the traditional experiences that we're accustomed to, and so we decided to have it virtually. So that experience typically is where there are costumes and there's music and there's pan and there's amazing food. And that's one thing I forgot to mention: the food in Nevis is
Yes.
amazing.
Oh,
That's it.
wow.
I
Well,
just need
yeah, you're like, that's it. Full
amazing.
stop. The food is amazing.
That is it. And so that is usually a time when people look to bring out stalls and they have their different cultural foods that they're selling. So Culturama is one of our premier events. And again, if you've ever been to any of those festivals that you're able to wear your costumes and you're able to parade in the streets, and that is really that authentic experience that people look for, and Culturama is definitely it. So that is one of our cultural festivals that we have. But we also have our Mango Festival,
Oh,
and that is
sign
something
me up.
just very
Sign me
unique.
up. I'm there.
Exactly. It is great. We actually had last year we had a virtual event because of COVID, but we really wanted people to be able to get a bit of what the Mango Festival is. And typically we have international chefs come working with local chefs, creating amazing dishes. We have competitions with the region, so persons from different islands would come, be able to create an amazing dish for persons to able to taste, and that is also something that persons love to come to Nevis for. And so you'll have music, you'll have the masquerade, which is a very colorful expression with dance and everything. You'll have vendors selling craft, you'll have vendors selling different foods. So that Mango Festival is in first week of July. So if there's any vacation time, for the 4th of July, that's usually the weekend that it happens. And an amazing experience. So if you love mangoes, if you love food, and if you love culture, that is the place to be. The week of
I'm
July.
definitely jotting that down for next year. I have to
Yes,
say, I'm so excited about this. It's
it,
like heaven.
it is going to be. We're crossing our fingers and we're working as diligently as we can to put on an amazing experience. So I hope, Sarah, that you'll
Yes.
love
Oh, we will definitely be in touch before
it.
that to make sure that
Yes,
we can figure out something.
yes,
So interesting. I actually, shifting gears a little bit in talking about this, you obviously hinted a little bit in regards to the events, some of them having to be virtual over the past 18, in the past year. Obviously, as everywhere in the world, things have been different in the past 18 months or so. But what has Nevis been doing to sort of prepare for, welcoming back international tourists? Like what's the sort of, process been like for Nevis?
we have been working extremely hard. I know that a lot of people think, well, because tourists are not coming into the destination, what are you doing? We are literally assessing everything. We were able to create experiences, as I've mentioned, with the Around the Garden tour. We were able to train our tourism sector in health and safety. And so we have a travel approved program that we partnered with health, our Ministry of Health, to create. And that was an extensive experience for all of the tourism sector. And that is something that we really pride ourselves on because we wanted to ensure that we were prepared for opening our borders. So we created new events. We actually had an event called Nothing Like a Vision Holiday because we know Christmas time in Nevis is such an amazing experience. And so how can we convey that to our audience? And so we created a virtual experience that takes place in December, the third week. And you get, again, the cultural dance. We have string band, which is, it sounds amazing. And so you're hearing your folklore, you're hearing your Christmas stories, your holiday stories. And so we were able to create that in the pandemic. In the midst of it, we said we want to be able to create a virtual experience for our audience so that they know what to expect when they come to Nevis. And so a lot of new concepts. We're actually working on a new website that we're launching very soon and we're excited about. We did so many things with other islands as well. We partnered with our neighboring islands to create a video called Discover the Islands to really promote island hopping. And Nevis led the charge in this because we found it's better to work together because the Caribbean is really, I would say, the heartbeat of the world. I'm going to say that boldly. And the reason is because of all the culture and the nuance that's here. And we thought it was important for us to really sit down and strategize. How can we convey that to the world? And we did that through video and it was well received. And so we've been active, very active. There's actually like a new Nevis Nice sign, hashtag Nevis Nice in the center near town. And so people can come and take pictures. So we've been really active, really assessing what worked, what didn't work. How can we do better? How can we really show and share our culture? How can we share our experiences? How can we share our essence through digital means? Because we understand that we can't have the face to face like we're accustomed to doing. And so we had to reach our audience in other ways. And we did that through digital marketing. So we have been really working hard with raising the profile of the destination. Yeah.
That's so great. So for those that might be wanting to travel there now, what I mean, obviously, things change. So if you're listening to this, keep in mind always like stay on top of things. But what are the requirements for U.S. travelers coming there right now?
Yeah. So for U.S. travelers or any travelers, we require a full vaccination. And so you test 72 hours prior to departure. So when you book your accommodation, you go on KNA travel form.kn and you fill out the form and you're asked for, basic questions about your passport, your vaccination card, and where you're going to be staying, just basic information. You upload that as well as your negative test result. Once you send that in, you are awaiting your approval. Once you receive your approval, you get to board that beautiful flight over to St. Kitts and Nevis, whether you're entering St. Kitts or whether you're coming directly into Nevis. And you have to provide your documents upon arrival. There is a vacation in place period. So you are vacationing in place at one of our approved properties for 4 days. And so you're having your experience on the property. So whether you're staying at Four Seasons or Montpelier or Golden Rock, you're able to stay in place for a while, just making sure that when you test on day 4, you're negative. And once you're negative, you're able to immerse into society and experience all of the amazing things that we talked about today.
I love that. And that's great because it really is such a thorough process and the thoughtfulness that's gone into you all putting that together and that in place. I mean, it really makes a lot of sense. And it's, really is that great way to sort of be that extension of that barefoot luxury, and then also make sure that everybody's, doing the best they can to have a really, safe and comfortable experience.
Exactly. And so we've been really trying to be communicative with all of our guests that are coming and making sure that any updates that do happen are listed on our websites. And yeah, the communication is key.
Yes, exactly. Communication is key. As we all know, everything has been, there have been so many, it's been so fluid, but it is great to hear what protocols you do have in place. So currently, so that's exciting and good to hear. So, okay, we're talking about barefoot luxury. And so, Nevis certainly fits into this whole luxury travel space, international travel, stepping a little bit away and maybe on a broader perspective. What predictions do you sort of see in the future of luxury international travel? Like, what do you think luxury international travelers want more of? Is it more space? Do you think anything might change permanently? What are your thoughts that nobody's holding you to it, but with your finger on the pulse of things, I would love to hear your opinion on that.
I think that people are looking for memorable experiences. There are a lot of experiences that they would have missed due to COVID. And we want to get those back in some way, shape, or form. And so the experience is everything. And so I think it's important, especially for us as a destination, to ensure that that experience is conveyed in the best way possible. We know who we are here. We know our culture. We know our food. We know everything. How can we share that? How can we share that with those that are looking to visit? So that is something I think people want to be more active. I think there's a larger emphasis on wellness and health. And we actually launched a wellness campaign because Nevis is perfectly positioned for retreats and, getaways and just really tuning out everything. That here is the perfect place. I forgot to mention that we actually have been doing a lot of productions on island. So we've had about 3 movie productions
Oh,
during
wow.
the pandemic. Yeah, and we're putting our stamp on being the production capital of the Caribbean. So I'm going to say that both. Um,
Oh, I love that.
yeah, we've had Sports Illustrated before. We've had Vogue. So right now we've been shifting into the production scene in terms of movies. And so one of the things that we notice is that persons who are actors and actresses can move freely and there are no issues, right? And so again, it's that wellness, it's that relaxation. That is something that I think is going to be the tone moving forward. Um, People will be active, but they are going to prioritize wellness and their health. And so safety is another important focus. I think that's going to continue on for lifetimes to come. We're really going to focus on our safety. And I think ease. We want ease. We want things to be less complicated. And so we're going to definitely move into that space. And I think it really challenges us in the tourism sector to find out ways to ensure that the experience is left with little little issues. You want to be able to go into any space with ease and comfort, tranquility. All of those things are going to be the focus, I think, in terms of luxury travel. We just want to be able to experience something with no problems. You have the troubles of the world. There's always something happening, but how can I just tune out and focus on the right here, the right now, the present? So I think that will really be the focus moving forward.
Well, I think it's really spot on what you're saying. Everything that you're saying, and it's so beautiful how it it goes into so much of what Nevis has to offer. But it absolutely is, I think, the direction that we will be going, and I think it's a direction for the better for all of us. Obviously, it has been challenging to say the least. But whenever faced in facing challenges, to turn it into a positive as best one can, and to even just change our outlook as a society as a whole. So it is really, kind of positive to see a little bit of that shift towards that. So actually, which brings me kind of to one of our final questions here. Certainly we're talking, the pandemic has definitely been a challenge for everybody, but it's also allowed for new projects and new developments to happen. I heard that you have a new sustainability project that you're working on. You're launching it, I think, at the end of the month as well, too. Could you share a bit about that?
Yeah, we realize that our tagline is Leave us naturally, so we have to be natural. We have to be able to protect the earth, right? And we at the Tourism Authority worked with a lot of the other agencies on island, and we said, hey, we have this idea. We really want to be able to get local participation in being more environmentally friendly. How can we do that? And so we created a massive group. And this group literally comprises of all of the other sustainability groups and environmental groups on island. And we came together and we said, how can we move the destination forward? And so right now we are working on actually getting everyone on island to move in the direction where they're recycling all their plastics. I know in other parts of the world that's something that has happened before, and we're playing catch up, but we understand how important it is. And so we have a few great partnerships in the pipeline that we want to be able to really hone in on how we can be more sustainable. So we've identified a location where all of the island is going to be able to bring their plastics, and we're going to work on upcycling. We're going to work on competitions. There's so many things that we're working on in terms of the sustainability projects. I won't say too much, even though I probably said a lot. But we're really moving in the direction of not only just recycling, but how can we work on reusing a lot of the things? How can we do more beach cleanup? The NHCS, which is the Conservation Society in Nevis, really works diligently on doing active beach cleanups. When you come to Nevis, it's very clean. So I know we're very hard critics on ourselves. We're like, no, we need to be more clean. We need to be more green. But I think that's important because we have to lead the charge, because we really do care about the environment. We care about our home. We want that when you come to visit our home, that you feel like you want to take care of it as well. So how else to do that but be the ones that are leading the charge there? So we are really excited about this project. It's a lot of work, a lot of attention to detail, a lot of moving pieces, but we're really excited and thrilled to be launching that very soon.
That's exciting. Well, we'll definitely be sure to stay tuned for that. And obviously, it's a it makes sense. It's to say that it's a good cause is it doesn't do it justice. It's what we should be doing, and it's so great to hear that that it is top of mind for you all as well too. Since the beauty of the island is so much of what makes Nevis Nevis, so that's incredible. So this has been such a great conversation. I kid you not. I want to as soon as we're done talking, I'm like, flights to Nevis. Maybe I need to go in a couple weeks. I think so. Research, as they say. But this has been so great. So for those that have been listening, if they want to find out more information, where can they find out more information about Nevis, and how can they also connect with you?
Yes, at Nevis Naturally on all of our platforms. We are YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole nine. So you can definitely also visit nevisisland.com, which is our official tourism website, where you will be able to see our new website very soon and get all up-to-date details in terms of what is happening on the island.
Love that. Love that. Well, we'll make sure to have all of those details in our show notes. So if you are listening, be sure to head to our landing page so you can see the video and you can see Nevis, because Jadine is sitting here with a beautiful background. But we'll also have all those links so that you can find out more and make sure to add it to your list the next time that you are heading to the Caribbean, because it definitely is a stunning location. And by the way, Mango Festival next year. Okay, I'm going to be there front and center.
Okay. We can't wait to welcome you, Sarah. So.
Love it. Love it. I know. They're like, okay, it's the crazy mango girl. It's perfect. Love it. I guess there could be worse things that you could be called. So I'll take that title. No problem. Well, this has been so great. Thank you so, so much. For everyone that has been listening, I will have all the details here that you can connect with Jadine should you want. Find out more about Nevis as well, too. But I hope that this has given you a little bit of excitement as far as what's happening in the world, what's happening in the Caribbean, even as you're planning your future travels as well, too. An idea of a place that maybe you didn't think about before, but now it's top of mind as well. So be sure to check it out. And as always, thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned for future episodes. And as always, continue to say yes to travel.